AFTV, James, I saw you celebrating that third goal. Cedric, I mean, he had a great game today, didn't he, Cedric?
Yeah, he was superb. And you've got to take into account that he's doing it at left back, which is in his natural position. And Pepe had a really good game. You know, there may be questions about whether Pepe was going to turn up today, but the two of them down that left-hand side were superb, and the dominance of Arsenal's left continues.
Yeah. And, you know, Cedric didn't have a great game down the left-hand side the other day. But against the same team, he obviously... You know what I liked about today is there's a lot of those players that obviously went away after that Saturday game. They've been stung by it. They're upset by it. And they were determined tonight to put that right. You could see that, couldn't you, right from the start of the game?
Yeah, absolutely, and determines the word. I mean, we had that great chance that Lacazette obviously missed. He should be scoring that, but he ended up having a great game anyway. And then you go a goal down within 3-4 minutes, and you need a response, and they didn't go into their shells, they didn't worry, they weren't hoping for something, they went and made it happen. And credit to the whole team, they were all brilliant. I'm so happy, and you know, obviously Arteta will be feeling a little vindicated, obviously, with the...
I was going to ask you about that because,
sure
you know,
yeah.
you were very upset about the team selection at the weekend. Now, when you see tonight's game and you see Smith Rowe limping off, Thomas Partey cramping up, you see players on the Southampton team as well, like Danny Ings, he was anonymous all game, and Walcott, really. Do you start to think to yourself, well, now I see why certain players were rested, or are you still adamant that we should have went with the first team?
Maybe I was wrong. No, I mean, look, I'm not adamant about that. You know, what he did on Saturday was right or wrong or whatever. Look, the bottom line is we're out the FA Cup. So I had a few people tweeting me today saying, you know, yeah, you got it wrong. Why can't you submit it? Well, because we're still out. It doesn't change.
We're still out of the FA Cup.
We're still out of the FA Cup, right? So,
but I think it's the difficulty is that seeing the difficulty of trying to strike that balance, because you know you got a game the Tuesday, and then we got another game Saturday.
Yeah.
Which is another huge game. Then another game after that on the Tuesday. Wolves and away. I think, you know, we have to bear in mind that teams are going to have to use their squads.
My issue, and I really want to reiterate this, my issue wasn't that he rotated. My issue was how many he rotated, and that the particular rotations he made I felt were unfair on the team and the personnel. Because as I said, you know, El Neni was out of form, Pepe, Willian and Nketiah were struggling, Bellerin as well, and that's our whole middle to right-hand side. So I felt that, do you know what, if he wanted to come out and say, I basically he would never say this, obviously, but if it was a case of, I threw it away because we've won the FA Cup and I'm looking at other things in the league now, I say, well, fair enough, he did the right thing then. But if he was putting out an 11 that he genuinely thought was good enough to beat Southampton in the Cup, well, he didn't do that. Not only because we lost, but I think we all knew from the beginning, you know, that team wasn't going to cause them problems.
Yeah, but then when you see somebody like Pepe putting in a performance that he did tonight, he didn't do that a lot at the weekend.
No, he didn't. Two reasons for that. A, I think the personnel around him much better today. The movement of Smith Rowe makes it unpredictable. Cedric was underlapping, overlapping. Lacazette was coming short, getting beyond. And then you got the security of Xhaka and Partey, who were sweeping up everything. And Partey had some iffy moments and then recovered and was brilliant. The other thing about Pepe is he's playing on the left. And it's something that I've wanted to see for a while, because I think he's quite an instinctive player, Pepe. No one's ever really had a problem with his finishing or his assists or things like that. He actually delivers on that front. It's more what he does in the run-up and the build-up to goals or attacking moves or creating chances. And on the right, I find he gets pinned to the touchline and he looks uncomfortable because he's got to beat a man, or he's got to perform some skill. He's got to look magical. Actually, on the left, because he's naturally left-footed, he could be more efficient, less of the flash stuff. Just boom, pass from Xhaka in, one touch, great strength, finish. And I think it suits his skill set and his where he is with his confidence better. So I think those are the reasons why Pepe...
So you think left from now on for him?
Yeah.
Instead of the right-hand side?
The winger I want to compare him to, not in terms of ability, but in terms of how they played that position, was Leroy Sané at Man City. Left-footer, but played on the left, and it was always that out-to-in run, that exact run in between centre-back and full-back, and getting it on the touch and hitting it in that far corner was very trademark City, and trademark Leroy Sané. I think Pepe could perform a similar function, yeah.
Okay, well, it's the big one at the weekend. Man United, obviously a way better team. It's going to be a much tougher game, even though Southampton are a good side and have been playing well this season. Remember, they beat Liverpool at home.
Yeah.
But this is the ultimate test now, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is, because they are title race Man United now. They're not where they were at Old Trafford. I remember going into that game at Old Trafford and I was thinking, why are the United fans so arrogant about this one? Because wasn't that blown away.
Well,
they
just beaten.
They'd beaten some very good
PSG
teams,
and they just beaten RB Leipzig.
But it was only a spell of like a couple of weeks. A couple of weeks before they were struggling. This is different. This is 11, 12 games on the bounce, knocking Liverpool out the FA Cup, top of the league. This is a very different Man United. Because actually back then as well, I think they were being a little carried by Bruno Fernandes and the odd, but now it's Pogba firing and Fernandes and Rashford. So I'm very wary of them. What I would say, what worries me, is that today we went punch for punch with Southampton and ultimately our quality came through. But there are a few moments where they're running out of back four, maybe the fullbacks were caught out of position, Holding, Louise. I think I overall did well, but looked a little shaky at times. And if we go punch for punch with United, they will cause us more problems than Southampton did. But then I wouldn't want to play them any other way, because I'm still not convinced about Maguire or Lindelof. Bailey can be brilliant. He can also be erratic. Wan-Bissaka, you don't know what you're going to get. So let's take the game to them. Absolutely, let's take the game to them. And you know what? I don't want to go and put in some defensive masterclass and nick it 1-0. I want to go. They're top of the league, right? Let's go and show that we can play with them. And hopefully we'll get the result. We're at home. I trust Arteta. He's got one over Ollie a few times now. But it's going to be difficult, and don't think it'll be like the game we saw at Old Trafford where we just basically ran all over him. I think this will be much more end-to-end. So it'll be interesting what Arteta goes with then.
AFTV Picks, the new exclusive free-to-play betting tool app for football fans everywhere. Every week, test your skills and knowledge against Robbie and the AFTV fans and stand to win prizes and cash. And wait for it, it's all free.